too bad, not too bad. Yourself? How you been?
Oh yeah, been home, do a bit of exercise here and there. Yeah, not happening, nothing much happening at home.
Nothing
Yeah,
much. Yeah, I mean, another
spent
what? How
here.
many weeks? 4 weeks of lockdown, I guess. In the
Uh,
next,
oh,
yeah, I
four
think there's
more
the
weeks,
next, yeah, four
but
more weeks of
I think
lockdown.
2 months. It's not that simple. Not with
Yeah,
the number of cases that's happening now.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be still, it's still gonna be a long while, right? It's still gonna be a long while, but
It's gonna
I
take.
guess I do apologize for everyone for the technical difficulties. We're trying to log in before and we couldn't get in, so it was weird. Oh
Yeah.
well. So yeah, I guess yeah. I mean we're a little bit behind, but I think we can might as well get started, right? On this, and I guess today's topic is not really on products. We're not really sharing about what these products are gonna do for you, but today is more sharing about a story of why do some of us get started in this journey of New Skin, and so I know Simon. I mean, I'm the one that shared you with you this opportunity quite some time ago. But I wanted to like just go through it with you. Just maybe ask you one question where you can break it down a little bit more in details of you've been doing New Skin for a while now, and how did you start, and why did you actually choose to do New Skin? Um, and I'll give you the limelight and let you take over this little story sharing.
Thank you, thank you. So
Thank you.
yeah, thanks, Gareth. Yeah, so I've been in the workforce for about 16 years now. Well,
Mm,
actually, self-employed for the last 2 years. But um, yeah, so just say 12 years I've been in the workforce. And, you know, I've been a bartender, I've been a waiter,
mhm,
a machine operator, a production coordinator, marketing manager. You know, I've done lots of roles, seen lots of things, right, and got lots of experience. So let's wind it back. I was doing waitering for about 9 years, but towards the end of the 8, 9 years, um, I started thinking there's got to be more to life than just, we did about 11 to 10 shifts, so it was 11 o'clock a.m. to about uh, yeah, 10 p.m., which is pretty long, and then a little break in between. Um, and every day was like that. It just felt very repetitive, and day to day, 9 to 5 job is particularly, it's almost the same thing. And, I started thinking to myself, got to be more to life than just that. I don't want to be, going to work, and then coming home, going to work, coming home. It's just very tiring. Later on, I started going to TAFE, studied small business management, and uh, ended up wanting to open a cafe. But, I didn't have the initial starting money. And, for it to run, I needed a lot of money. And I needed to have a lot of experience, realizing that I also need to have some uniqueness to my cafe. What differentiates me from my cafe to another one, right? So, finished studying, got my certificate, but sat on the idea of starting a business. Um, Found another job um, as a machine operator at a printing company, and from there, I started doing full time there, and then continued working a weekend job at the restaurant. So I was working 7 days. During that time, 7 days, doing about 60, 70 hours a week, which is quite long. Um, you know, my thought of, there's got to be more to life than just, that, than just working. Um, the only way I knew how to make more money was to work more, work harder. And that actually, I got kind of sick of it, but I did it for about 3 years. So later on, I got promoted to production coordinator, more into like a management type of skill, teaching me to work a bit smarter. During that time, I was always open-minded, and I ran into Garrett at the restaurant on the weekend, and he asked, let's go for a coffee, catch up. I haven't seen him in like 8-9 years. I was like, yeah, let's go for a coffee. I haven't seen you. We catch up for a coffee. And so, yeah, we just talked a bit. And then later he asked if I was open for opportunity. I said, yes, I am open for opportunity. Why not? Because, I actually, in the back of my mind, I don't want to be working for 50, 60 hours a week or 70 hours a week. And, I knew that I couldn't be doing it long term because it would hurt my health. So, later on, we met up again for another coffee, and this time we actually talked about business. And I actually knew that business is the way to go. Business is actually going to get me far. So I was, basically, I'll jump into the story of how I started Nu Skin a little bit later. But then I started Nu Skin and continued on part-time and into my marketing manager role. And from there, what I felt was I was up there making a bit more money, but actually not, really being happy. It's just kind of miserable because a lot of micromanagement, a lot of office politics and all that. So I just didn't feel like I was part of that. Most people ignore the feeling of, being miserable for more income at the next job. So they jump job to job, and then they just feel miserable every time. And it goes up because there's more money, and then down by the end of the role. So, when I started Nu Skin back in when I was a machine operator, jumping into a production coordinator time, I started Nu Skin part-time, which actually didn't affect my current position. It was a spare time here and there, after work, in between, jobs and all that, I could actually do a bit more. And the reason why I started was because I wanted to make more money without needing to work so hard. And that was actually the focus. It was the focus on money, not the customer. And later I realized that the focus on the customer was actually more important because the money followed when the customer was actually happy with the product. So I learned more about the products, started taking these products and actually getting a result, sharing with people about what they can actually do. So about a year later, we went to a global convention. I met some new friends from Canada. We sat down, had a chat, and realized that, wow, this business is so vast, so big. And it was actually amazing. I met people on the other side of the world, and we actually had the same mindset. Right? I was like, wow, this is great. I can actually connect with someone really well. So later, these friends came to Australia, and Garrett and I took them around. And towards the end of their holiday, they invited us to Canada. Fast forward this 2 years, we went to another global convention, and I found myself fulfilling my own goal. Was to travel a bit more, and we went to Canada. When we got to Canada, we met up with my friend, and by that time she was already pregnant. So this actually got me thinking, my new goals, especially based around family, because at the time I was about 30. I'm 34 now, and I wanted to plan for a future family, future kids, right? So my goal of just making money turned into focusing on the customer, and also evolving into thinking about wanting more time and more money to look after my family, take care of them, spending more time with them, and actually doing it at a young age. So after we met up, we had this great talk, and one of the topics was becoming a type 5 person. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about becoming a type 5 person. Basically, it's actually having 5 properties. Time freedom is one of them. Second, financial freedom. Freedom of health, freedom of youth, and finally, freedom of happiness. So actually doing all this can actually, be happy. Most people go into their work, they're not happy. And, it actually makes your mind unhealthy and clogs up your head. So I figured out, this business can actually give us all this stuff. And it can align with my new goals, give me that time freedom. So my new goals was, spend time with my family, picking up, dropping off the kids to school, watching them actually grow up. Those were actually my new goals when I saw my friend in Canada. So, why did I choose Nu Skin? Nu Skin anti-aging, health and wellness. I looked into those trends. It was actually growing very, very fast. Young people were growing older. Older people were just growing even older. And, they actually need these products to stay young, stay healthier, keep their bodies fitter, keep their bodies healthier, to prevent sickness and lots of injuries and all that. Later on, I also looked at the company when I started. So I looked at their science and technology. It was actually, a lot of companies were doing stem cell research. But, our company is doing gene expression science. It's actually on a whole new level. So, I looked at the innovation of the company. Are they actually pulling out new products into the market? Because if you're just using a few products and not making new products as a business, you're not growing. You're not creating new demand for a customer or the person that's actually going to be promoting their business. But also what I loved about this company was that they were actually empowering each person and giving back to the community. So in the past few videos, we've been talking about Nourish the Children and Force for Good. They were actually giving back to the communities. Well, here we actually empower people to become a force for good, and we're actually helping more people to do more in a positive way. And lastly, Nu Skin aligns with all my goals and is capable to provide for my goals. There's no reason not to do Nu Skin. No reason to think about if it's happy for me, because I know that it can actually provide for me, and I can actually be, happiness is actually one of my top goals as well. Staying happy all the time, spreading positivity. That about, my story is about is about that.
About it. Yeah, that. Thanks, Simon, for that. The story. That's like a few things that you actually mentioned was obviously in your workplace. I mean, you were not so happy because of micromanagement, and I guess that happens to a lot of people. I definitely felt the same way before. I went into this role, and this principal, or he wasn't that great, and definitely did make me feel not so happy, or even in the team wasn't so happy in general anyway. So that's like a lot of micromanagement. Other thing was time. Obviously, like you mentioned, you did what, 60 to 70 hours, is that right? Of work. And no, I think that was, like you mentioned, that was a time when we spoke again back in high school, back at your work, where you had your full-time job, but you also had a side job. So that clocked up the hours, and obviously that part there is we work and we trade the units of time for units of money. So I guess when you do your 50 to 60 hours a week, and definitely you're hardworking, like most people only work 38 hours a week, and then that's it. The rest of the hours, they just, I don't know what they do, right? They probably play games or whatnot. But I guess you looked further into the future where you wanted to make some more income, and by doing that, at the end of the day, when you do work for someone, and that probably breaks down into other sections of the quadrants that I'll probably talk about, like the cash flow quadrant, where we are, like obviously either whether you work for someone or you work for yourself, at the end of the day, it's still trading units of time for units of money. So we've got to figure out how, and that's what you were doing. You were in the other side. You were on that left side where you just work for someone. You worked, and that part there only trades units of time for units of money. Whereas if we go into the investing side or the business aspect side of it, that's when you create the leveraged income, or the financial, some people say financial freedom, through that part there too. So, and obviously there's many ways. Definitely. And and obviously while you build this, and you build this business through meeting new people and understanding why people do this business. And obviously you've noticed that obviously over the time of building the business, you had some goals, you had the goals, but obviously meeting new other people, you started to realize even more goals that you wanted to achieve. So I think at the end of the day, your goals will continue to grow, or you have more goals, or it will start to become more clear for you. So like you said that, I guess we can say our friend in Canada, Diana, obviously once she fell pregnant, I mean, she'll probably want more time with the kids, right? And that's exactly one of my goals, is to have that time too. And that's something that you eventually, you'll probably start to build up bigger and more goals that you want to achieve. And that's important, I mean, kids, imagine you have your newborn and you have to go to work, you know what I mean? For like, you probably can take paternity leave or maternity leave, and that's like a certain amount of period, but I guess you want to spend more time, and I guess both of us are not experiencing it, but we've known so many people in the business where they just took the time, didn't care about the time frame of, the paternity leave is X amount of weeks, or a year later. They can spend the time. We've seen our mentors spend years and no need to go back to work, you know what I mean? And they've got that time to spend with them. And I think that's something that you want to achieve, and that's something that I want to achieve, is that I want to have that time to be with them, not just being controlled by someone of, you can only take 14 weeks, or you can only take 6 months, or only take 1 year. And, I think, like I said, the time is important. And once time is lost, we won't get that back anymore.
Yeah.
And I think at the early stages of the kids, I think most people want to spend most of the times when they are young, because that's the most memorable time.
Mm.
But yeah, I think yeah, Simon, you started to build this business, and you started to get involved, and you start to meet new people um, and that kind of got you to um, think further and deeper of what kind of other goals that you want in life.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Awesome.
I was working really hard at the time,
Yeah.
60, 70 hours. I mean, that's probably what my parents were doing as well, back in the
Yeah.
day. Uh,
Yeah.
um, I actually don't. I thank them for working hard and providing for us, but it's also not the same lifestyle that I want to be living. I mean, yeah, I can do it all again, but that was before. That's when you couldn't actually work smarter.
Mm.
It's like saying today I'll drive a car, but if I do the same thing as what they were doing back in the day, I could be driving a horse carriage. It just doesn't make sense to work harder than I should be.
Mm.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, thank you for sharing your story, Simon. And I'm looking forward to actually working with you even um,
Yeah. Same.
more and growing bigger. And who doesn't want to work with friends? You know what I mean? And that's important. And I think we've been in this journey for quite some time now, and that's kind of grew our relationship with each other and understood each other a bit more of why you do this business. And thank you, Simon.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Let me ask you, Garrett.
Mm.
What will you be able to share a brief
Yeah,
explanation about why we should do a side business and why Newski?
yeah, definitely. I think yeah, definitely can share with you a little bit more information about where this company comes from, and what we can help you with. And but before I get started, I'll probably say that most people nowadays are looking for opportunities, or a lot of people, if you haven't noticed, what we call the gig economy, and basically we're just doing our things. And what is gig economy? Basically, gig economy is people that are looking for extra income, and they're using different platforms in making the extra platform or extra income. So there are going to be those people that has their full-time job, but once they've got that free time, because nowadays living expenses are increasing and wages ain't increasing as much. So we got to look for ways of making extra money. And some people may be doing it because of their passion. Maybe they're really into something and they wanted to have their full-time job and do something on the side that they love doing. So there's many things, and I guess a lot of people nowadays are either starting something either on the online shop, selling, like basically grabbing products from a certain company and selling it online on a website or on their social media platforms, whatever, right? Such as Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, or AliExpress. So there's a lot of platforms, right? And some people might be doing photography. They've got the skills, they love this photography, and they start taking photos for people, maybe for weddings or other things, right? For Instagram posts, and maybe they're building their Instagram profile. Some people are actually cooking. They're chefs and they love cooking, so they've still got their full-time job and they're still cooking on the side and providing extra meals for other people that's interested or love their food. Some are like driving Uber, so such as people that has a car but they want to make extra income. So when they're free, and you can do it, switch it on and do that business. Go for it. And yeah, you're doing it on the side too. So I mean that's another option for many people, right? And other people like teaching. So there's a lot of things. I mean, everyone's are looking for platforms, and people are looking ways to find extra income. And I guess the gig economy equates to basically 30% of the current workforce. And it's crazy. I mean, obviously the generations, obviously different generations has started to overcome other generations now. So obviously the gig economy is generally the younger generations that's taking over the workforce. And we, and you can say the world is changing rapidly, I could say 50% of the workforce nowadays are millennials, and basically the millennials, they want to have more flexibility. They want to have that lifestyle, and they want the freedom. And I think most of us don't want to be, like you said, we don't want to be a part of, I'm not saying be a part of, but we don't want to be like our parents, where they went into traditional employment, where they had to go to work that 38 hours or a certain time or salary package and all that. I think most people don't want to do that. The younger generation don't want to do that anymore. And I think that's the most important part, is how can we have that opportunity where they can choose to have that lifestyle or the flexibility and the freedom in general, right? And like you said, I think most people would go, I just, like you said, you're driving, right? You're driving Uber, right? You can switch it on whenever. So it's the choice, it's you making that choice of when you can drive and whenever you want to switch off and not do the business. And I think that's something that most people want. And I think most of us, like even for myself, I don't like being controlled. I don't like being controlled by someone telling me that I can't take my annual leave, or I can't take these days off, or you can't go on this holiday. You got to give you 6 months, or that's the kind of thing that I fall back on, and which I don't like, because I'm being controlled by someone, if that makes sense. And I think most people don't want that. I think most people want to have that freedom of choice, and that's important. And obviously, by having this in the gig economy, basically, it's creating more opportunities and allowing more people to be more productive, other than just a job. You get me? And that's very important. And I think one thing that I wanted to share with everyone, and I think one thing is, everyone has a goal. Everyone has a dream of what they want in life, and these can fall into many different categories. One thing is, obviously people want to, I mean, I'll let you guys decide, right? I'll let you guys decide on this one. But I believe that these things is something that you may want. And one is extra income or extra cash flow. Second is, some people want maybe business, have their own business somehow. They want that financial freedom, or even or leveraged income, people may want a dream car, dream house, and people may want to travel around the world. I mean, these are some things that you might want, right? Maybe even child's education. You want to pay for your kids' education, where you want to provide them the best of the best, right? So that's important. And I think somewhat personal growth, or personal development, and I think that's something that I always constantly want to work on. Being healthy, obviously, being able to live younger, being healthier is very important, so we can live a longer life. Time freedom is probably one of the biggest thing that we want. Is there's so much time, there's not much, like, obviously there's so much time in the week, and we spend a lot of the time working for someone. And I think most people can't just wait till the weekend to do what they want, right? And I think we want the other way around. We want more time to do our things and work a certain amount of time and still have that type of income. And I think that's important. Some maybe want to help others. Maybe someone want to retire young. So, and maybe even inheritance, or even leave a legacy to a lot of people. So there's a lot of things, and I think everyone will have their own goals, or certain things that they want in life. And I think most of them might not even hit one of those things, but I think most of them will probably hit about maybe 3 or 4. And I would say that for me, I think a lot of that, I'll probably break it down into 12 different categories. And I would say I want nearly all of those categories in general. And some people may not want all of them, but some want a couple of them. And obviously for some might start off with 1 or 2 and eventually become more, right? So one thing that I wanted to share is this company, and the company's called Nu Skin, and the business has been around for the last 35 years. So it's not a startup company, it's a very successful company. It's been around for quite some time, and they've have done some amazing things. And this company has a global opportunity of 50 plus countries. So you can build a business locally in Australia or wherever you are based, and you can actually ping pong all around the world, wherever you want. With the current technology that we have, I mean, I'm at home, you're at home, and we're doing a little video on at home, and we're connecting to other people. And I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, we're building something that can be done anywhere within the 50 plus countries that the company is located in, and that's the amazing thing. And it's a publicly traded company, so it's listed in the New York Stock Exchange. Sorry, I just had a mind blank. So it's publicly listed in the New York Stock Exchange under the code name of NUS, and we're a public company where you can do your research and check all the financials and everything. That's very important. Another thing that I want to break it down is also the Force for Good Foundation. We have donated over 650 million meals, and these meals are provided to people that are in need. And that one bag of meal can basically feed one starving child for 1 whole month, or if not, one bag can feed 30 child in 1 day. And that's something that is deep within our heart, that we wanted to provide, and we wanted to give back to the community also. And there's different other things that are around also. We've got like Southeast Asia's got their own foundation also, so many different things. And I think that's also something that we can give back in some way. And one thing about this company is the science behind, and the science is important, because to have great products we must have good scientific backing on it. And for us, we have 75 in-house scientists that works hand in hand, day in, day out, just researching and creating new products for us. We've got a world-class scientific advisory board. We've got 2 global research two global research center in the company. One's based in Utah, and that's where we go every 2 years, but currently we can't go at the moment. But also another one is located in Shanghai, China, and it's a huge innovation center, and that's something that we get to experience or see last every 2 years by annual convention, and we get to see the labs or the everything, and meet some of the scientists and see what they do and see all the machines and all that. It's amazing. But with these scientists, we've got hundreds of products, and all these products are backed by science. So every market does have their unique products, but Australia has their specific products. But in total, all around the world, there's hundreds of products. And there's a brand that I wanted to share with, is called the ageLOC brand. And ageLOC brand is basically a unique blend that targets our gene expression in our body. And there's multiple different products, and you probably can see on this behind me, there's different products, and that just the ageLOC range itself is that brand itself has done well over $10 billion in sales, nearly $1 billion a year in the last 10 years. And that's important. Why is it so important? Is because basically the products are working. If a product does not work, how will we be able to get to that amount of turnover on a year-to-year basis? And that's because of innovations and the science of the products is very important. And we always innovate new products every single year, and that's important. And I think that's helps every time when a new product comes out, it helps benefit our business in general, and it targets a certain market that we can help with. And I think the last part I wanted to share is probably the lifestyles that we want. And I guess at the end of the day, most of us, like you said, most of our parents probably went into this lifestyle. I'm going to break it down into two lifestyles. The first lifestyle is basically the day we're born, we start to acquire skills as we age. We go to primary school, high school, uni or TAFE and whatnot. And then we get the necessary skills. And then by the time we hit about maybe 25, we go into the work. We use those skills to go into the workforce and work for the rest of our life to the age of 65. And I think that's what our parents did. I think by the age of 65, and I could say exactly, my dad did the same thing. At the age of 65, he retired. He actually retired at the age of 65, and then that's it. He tried to enjoy life, but I guess how can I say? I mean, who knows when we no longer exist, right? And I think by working for someone like at the age of, let's just say that we work for 25, from 25 to the age of 65, that's about 40 years. So you spend most of the time in your life working for someone. And then after you retire, you've saved up that certain amount of money and you try to enjoy life. You go travel a little bit here and there, but there's only a certain amount of period, maybe 5 to 10 years. And then from then on, you don't have the energy to. And then you go into like I don't know, like possibly some people maybe go in a nursing home, or some, cannot have the energy to do anything anymore. So I think that's the lifestyle. I think most of our parents will fall into that. And I think that's something that I don't want. And I think the younger generation don't want that either. And the lifestyle that I wanted to share, the second one is basically the lifestyle too, is we do the same thing to the age of 25. We use those skills and work hard. But obviously you work hard. You found out, you work very hard with those skills that you have. But at the end of the day, the skills that we acquire does not mean that it's the end of the road. And I've noticed a lot of people tell me that, hey, Garrett, I've studied all my life to be an accountant. I've studied all my life to be in IT. And that's my profession. And I can't do anything more than that. I think most people are limiting themselves of what they can achieve, because at the end of the day, you can work for the rest of your life if you want, but you don't want to be stuck or controlled in your current role or your current profession that you are in. I think there's always options, and some people say, I've done this and I can't learn new skills. But definitely we have, definitely if you're open to seeing things or open to learning things, if you have an open mind, then you'll be always constantly willing to learn or understand new things. And but the lifestyle too, so I broke it down to, I just steered away. But I think most people want to work hard, and obviously you start to work hard, and obviously over a certain amount of time, you start to realize you want to work smart. So you find an opportunity that can let you work hard, but also work smart, and then build something and eventually have the life that you want, enjoy life. And imagine, rather than enjoying life for 5 or so years or 10 years when you don't have the energy anymore, why not focus on finding something that can give you the opportunity to have that freedom in your life, where you can maybe retire at the age of 30, retire at the age of 35, 40, and actually enjoy life. And I think that's something that's important. I think we want to do that. We want to have that. And I think the choices are yours. I mean, it's the opportunity, there's opportunity, but the choices are, one, do you want to have that lifestyle one where work till 65, retire, and then try to find the energy to actually enjoy life, or find an opportunity that can allow you to work smart and then have the time freedom and also the leverage income where you can enjoy life whenever you want. And I think that's very important. And I think I went a little bit overboard on this one, but yeah, that's something that I wanted to share. I think most people want to have that lifestyle too, not the first one, but the second one. And I think I've said enough. I think I've said enough today, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. And is there anything else that you wanted to share or talk about, Simon, before we end it off on this one?
Yeah, the innovation. Well, you mentioned that the company comes up with new products every year, every second year, and it's not just the same product, but expanding on like a cream or just one type of product. There's so many different types of products that we actually launch. So we're health and wellness. We're into healthcare, like supplements, and then skincare, like creams, masks, and all that. A few years ago, we launched into the devices, like LumiSpa. And now we're doing stuff for collagen, which we're launching next month in less than 2 weeks. And so every time we have a new product coming out on the line, on the product line, it's a new opportunity for different concerns. Like collagen is very new to our business, right? It's not new to the whole anti-aging industry, but for us, it's another platform to get new products into the line. So like different types of products for facial masks, doing different things, anti-age from the inside out. Those are not new concepts, but new products are actually coming out. And so every time it comes out, new opportunity. And that's where, when as a distributor, you want that ground floor opportunity, and that the person, who invited you, or the person that's sponsored you, they're not making all the money. You actually have the same opportunity to make more money than them. It's about who worked harder, or if you want, you can even have a bet or something and say who wants to work harder and make more in a year or something. So that's what I love about this company. It's equal.
Yeah, and like you said, that's innovation is important, and we don't just start with anti-aging and skincare or just skincare. We deal with I would say personal care. We've got products that ranges from inside and out. So like I said, supplements, weight management or body shaping products. We've got skincare products. We've got personal care, which is like talk about even toothpaste, supplements. So we've got a range of everything that we have. So that's the most important part. We've got any products that's out that can help us from internals and externals. So we've got big opportunities with amazing products out there. So that's one important thing. So I think we shall end it. I mean, that we did go a little bit over time than expected, and when it comes to this part, I kind of get really excited, and I think I do. But yeah, I guess we can tell if you want to understand a little bit more about what we do. Definitely, we can have a chat outside of this, and we can share a little bit more of how it works. So I think at the end of the day, yeah, if you want to learn more, understand more, feel free to let us know. We will definitely give you the information for you, so that you can make that decision. So thank you, Simon, for sharing your story. And I guess next month or starting next week, we'll have a new set of products or a new set of live coming out throughout the week. So on every Wednesday, we'll have something new so that you can listen into and learn a little bit more. But I think that will end it for tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, Gareth, for sharing as well about the company.
Nice, thank you.
Science, very technical about lifestyles and all that. It's very important for people to realize, it's not just about working hard. It's also about working smart as well.
That's right.
Putting that into play.
Yeah. Awesome. So we'll end it at that. And thank you, Simon. And take care. And take care, everyone. And please stay safe. And we will keep in touch. And we'll see you next week again.
See you
take
guys.
Care. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks, Simon.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.